Ananda Srupani's only here for a few hours.
Actually, I will go to the program today. Change of plan.
To Green Street.
To the Battersea.
Okay, good. I heard you last night with Rohini. Rohini he's an incredible person. He has some type of Shakti. Because he talks about things and then they just manifest. Because he was like describing you, basically. I mean, not you, but what he wanted. And then you just like appeared all of a sudden in the temple. Because she's an amazing singer. She's very up there. I mean, like professional, singer. And like a few hours before, Rohini was like describing like what he wanted, and that was exactly what he like. Her voice was, and then she just appeared in the temple, and then next thing I know, I hear them together singing Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari. He has this. It's very inspiring because he has a very deep faith, and he just like believes it's all going to happen, and it does. It all just comes together for him. So that's cool. And will you perform on the stage as well?
I'm not sure if something will happen.
Okay, cool, nice. It's nice to use your talents, for preaching, for service of Mahaprabhu's mission. It's wonderful. So we can read Chaitanya Charitamrita, or if anyone has a particular topic, we can discuss that. Well, because you're just here for a few hours, and I don't know when I'll see you again. So.
Some personal things. I don't know. Maybe just carry on. Let's read, and then some stuff will come up.
Okay, sure.
The next will be there anyway.
What's that?
The nectar will be there anyway.
The answer.
The nectar.
Oh.
It's smaller now than the Vishakha.
Hi, Gurudev. Hi, Saraswati Didi. Dasa Vrindavanam Vande Krishna Dasa Prabhum Tata Janavatar Chaitanya Lila Vistar Karino Donityananda Prabja Karunarena Bhushito Vyakta Chano Burachincho Vavande Vyasadupino Shri Guru Gaur Gandharva Govindascha Ganaisaha Jayanti Patakas Ch.Ch Sarvesham Karunartino. So we're continuing with Chaitanya Charitamrita. And we have come to this section glorifying Srimati Radharani. This describing the sixth verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita. The fifth verse of the first chapter, describing this, these, ontologically, who is Mahaprabhu, the combined form of Shri Radha Krishna. Who is Radharani? Ontologically speaking, she is the Hladini Shakti. She is the spirit, what is, often rendered as the spiritual pleasure potency of the Lord. And so now this is being elaborated upon. Ladinir sar prem sar bhav, bhaver paramakashta namamahabhav. The essence of the Hladini potency is love of God. The essence of love of God is emotion, bhav. And the ultimate development of emotion is mahabhav. And this verse and the next verse, Srila Gurudev would many times quote, in glorification of Radharani. The essence of Hladini, the spiritual pleasure potency, the essence of that Hladini potency is prema. The essence of prema is bhav. Because, here we're living like in the desert, in this world. But In the spiritual world, prema is a general thing. Krishna prema is a general thing. In Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna prema is a general thing, right? And then so then there's more and more refined types of prema that are to be found in Vrindavan. So then a more condensed, more developed type of prema is referred to as bhav. And then the highest type of prema, which is the property of Radharani, is called mahabhav. Mahabhav Sarup Shri Radha Thakurani Sarva Guna Kani Krishna Kanta Shiromani. Shri Radha Thakurani is the embodiment of Mahabhav. And this Mahabhav, it is Radharani's property, and others may taste it if she gives something to them. Shri Radha Thakurani is the embodiment of Mahabhav. She is the repository of all good qualities and the crest jewel among all the lovely consorts of Lord Krishna. And now quotation from the Ujjvala Nilamani. Tayor apyubayor majje radhika sarvatadika mahabhav sarupeyam guner ati vadiyasi. Of these two gopis, Radharani and Chandravali, Srimati Radharani is superior in all respects. She is the embodiment of Mahabhav, and she surpasses all in good qualities. Krishna Prem Bhavita Jar Chitendriya Kai Krishna Nija Shakti Radha Kridar Sahai. Her mind, senses, and body are steeped in love for Krishna. She is Krishna's own energy, and she helps him in his pastimes. And now quotation from Brahma Samhita. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavi Tabis Tabirya Eva Nijarupa Taya Kalabi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who resides in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, who resembles his own spiritual figure, and who embodies the ecstatic potency, Hladini. Their companions are her confidants, who embody extensions of her bodily form, and who are imbued and permeated with ever blissful spiritual rasa. Krishna re karai jaiche rasa swadan, Kridai sahai jaiche shunavi vadam. Now please listen to how Lord Krishna's consorts help him taste rasa, and how they help in his pastimes. Krishna Kanta Gandeki Trivida Prakar Ekalakshmi Ganpode Mahishi Ganar Rajangana Rupar Kanta Ganasar Shri Radhika Hoite Kanta Ganera Vishtar. The beloved consorts of Lord Krishna are of three kinds: the goddesses of fortune, the queens, and the milkmaids of Braja, who are the foremost of all. These consorts all proceed from Radhika. So all the queens of Dwarka, we hear Krishna has how many? 16,108, right? Queens in Dwarka. And then there's innumerable Lakshmis in Vaikuntha, the consorts of the innumerable Narayans, Vishnu in Vaikuntha, and Srimati Radharani, and all the Braja Gopis of Vrindavan. Srimati Radharani, she is the source of that. They are all extensions of her. Avatari Krishna Jaiche Kore Avatar Amshini Radha Hoite Tin Ganera Vishtar. Just as the fountainhead, Lord Krishna, is the cause of all incarnations, so Sri Radha is the cause of all these consorts. There's one, actually, it's in a, can you pass me a kirtan guide? Or, yeah, thank you. It's there's this, it's mentioned in this song of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which Gurudev liked very much. This Radhika Charana Padma, I think it's in there. Radhika Charana Padma Sakala Shena Satma. Mentioning how, oh yeah, Uma, Rama, Satya, Ch.Ch, Chandra, Rukmini. So all of these, very worshipable, divine ladies, Radha Avatar Sobe, Amnaya Vani. They are all expansions of Srimati Radharani. Uma, who is, another name for Parvati, Lord Shiva's consort. Rama, which I think is another name for Lakshmi. So she is the source of all of those. And there's one very nice line in Srila. It's in it's from it's some comment, some description what is the name? Is it the Brihanaradiya Purana? But one of the Puranas, and there's some description of Radharani given there, and Srila Sridhar Maharaj gives. Maybe I think may have been quoting some scholar, but this comment was there that when Radharani entered the stage of the Brihanaradiya Purana, then like in the light of her glory and her shining glory, then all so many other exalted, great, dignified, divine ladies, they all paled in comparison, so many great, exalted ladies celebrated for their beauty, for their chastity, for so many wonderful qualities. But when Radharani entered the stage, then everybody paled in comparison. It's something like that. Because she is the source of all.
Sorry, when she enters what?
It was using this analogy of entering the stage of her description in this Purana when it first came, when she was first being described in this Purana, like her glories were first being told. Then what had been told about so many other exalted ladies, then they all became small by comparison of what was told about her. Like you have so many great persons, and then someone of much superior quality enters, and everyone looks small all of a sudden. So just as the fountainhead, Lord Krishna, is the cause of all avatars, so Shri Radha is the cause of all these consorts. Vaibhav Ganjantar Anga Vibhuti Bimba Prati Bimbadu Mahishir Tati. The goddesses of fortune are partial manifestations of Srimati Radharani, and the queens, meaning the queens of Dwarka, are reflections of her image. They're referred to as Mahishi, the queens of Dwarka. And Gurudev gave that name. What is that exactly? Mahishi is her name?
Maheshwari.
No. Mahiyashi.
Mahiyashi.
Gurudev gave that name to one lady in Hungary, referring to like the queens. I think. Lakshmi Gantar Vaibhav Vilasam Sharup Mahishi Gan Vaibhav Prakash Swarup. The goddesses of fortune are her plenary portions, and they display the forms of Vaibhav Vilas. The queens are of the nature of her Vaibhav Prakash. So some technical things here. Akar Swabhav Bede Braja Devi Gan Kaivyu Harupta Rasera Karan. The Braja Devis have diverse bodily features. They are her expansions and are the instruments for expanding rasa. Bahukanta vinanahe rase ulas, lilar sahai lagi bahut prakash. You know, because you could say, well, why does there need to be so many? It could just be her, you know. But as it's saying here, this is expanding the rasa. This is creating more variety, you know, more, you know, divine play and divine exchange of love and rasa. So, in all of these different expansions, then it's these different expansions. They're allowing for more development of the rasa. Bahukant, more variety. Bahukanta vinanahe rase ulas, lilar sahai lagi bahut prakash. Without many consorts, there is not such exaltation in rasa. Therefore, there are many manifestations of Srimati Radharani to assist in the Lord's pastimes. Tarmajye brajanana bhavrasa bhede, Krishna ke korai rasa dikali laswade. Among them are various groups of consorts in Braja, who have varieties of sentiments and mellows. They help Lord Krishna taste all the sweetness of the rasa dance and other pastimes. I'll just read this part of this purport. As already explained, Krishna and Radha are one in two. They are identical. Krishna expands himself in multi-incarnations and plenary portions like the Purushas. Similarly, Srimati Radharani expands herself in multi-forms as the goddesses of fortune, the queens and the damsels of Braja. Such expansions from Srimati Radharani are all her plenary portions. All these womanly forms of Krishna are expansions corresponding to his plenary expansions of Vishnu forms. These expansions have been compared to reflected forms of the original form. There is no difference between the original form and the reflected forms. The female reflections of Krishna's pleasure potency are as good as Krishna himself. The plenary expansions of Krishna's personality are called Vaibhav Vilas and Vaibhav Prakash, and Radha's expansions are similarly described. The goddesses of fortune are her Vaibhav Vilas forms, and the queens are her Vaibhav Prakash forms. The personal associates of Radharani, the damsels of Braja, are direct expansions of her body. As expansions of her personal form and transcendental disposition, they are agents of different reciprocations of love and the pastimes of Lord Krishna under the supreme direction of Srimati Radharani. In the transcendental realm, enjoyment is fully relished in variety. The exuberance of transcendental mellows is increased by the association of a large number of personalities, similar to Radharani, who are also known as gopis or sakis. The variety of innumerable mistresses is a source of relish for Sri Krishna. And therefore, these expansions from Srimati Radharani are necessary for enhancing the pleasure potency of Sri Krishna. They're transcendent because Krishna has an insatiable appetite. Their transcendental exchanges of love are the super excellent affairs of the pastimes in Vrindavan. By these expansions of Srimati Radharani's personal body, she helps Lord Krishna taste the rasa dance and other similar activities. Srimati Radharani, being the central petal of the Rasa Leela flower, is also known by the names found in the following verses. And these verses coming up, Gurudev would quote these two. So beautiful, listing different names for Radharani. And okay. Govinda Nandini Radha, Govinda Mohini, Govinda Sarvasva Sarvakanta Shiromani. So you'll recognize here different names, that Gurudev would give. These are all names of Radha. So Govinda Nandini, that is a name for Radharani, which means like she is the source of Ananda for Govinda. this Then Govinda Mohini, she's the bewilderer of Govinda. Radha is the one who gives pleasure to Govinda, and she is also the enchantress of Govinda. She is the be-all and end-all, Govinda Sarvasva. She is everything for Govinda. And the crest jewel of all his consorts, Sarva Kanta Shiromani. Of all his lovers, she is the supreme. She is the crown jewel. Now this is a verse from the Brihad Gautami Atancha. Devi Krishna Mayi Prokta Radhika Padadevata Sarva Lakshmi Mayi Sarva Kanti Samohini Pada. So this verse is listing different names of Radharani. And there's a very nice section in Revealed Truth where Gurudev is discussing all of this. So this verse is listing these names for Radharani, and then or like descriptions of her also. And then in the following verses, Kaviraj Goswami is explaining that. The transcendental goddess, Srimati Radharani, is the direct counterpart of Lord Shri Krishna. She is the central figure for all the goddesses of fortune. She possesses all the attractiveness to attract the all-attractive personality of Godhead. She is the primeval internal potency of the Lord. Okay, so now the next verse, Kaviraj Goswami is explaining the first description in that verse, which is Devi. So she's described as Devi, which normally we will think Devi means goddess, right? But Kaviraj Goswami elaborates on that. Devi kohi dyottamana parama sundari kimva Krishna puja kridar vasati nagari. Devi means resplendent and most beautiful, or else it means the lovely abode of the worship and love sports of Lord Krishna. So this word Devi, or also Deva, it also has this connection with the word play. That connection is there. In one place, Srila Sridhar Maharaj says Deva. I think in his Brahma Gayatri explanation, he's saying Deva means who is beautiful and playful. This is what Deva means. So here it's being taken, to mean that she, Radharani, she is like the abode of all the play of Krishna. She is the supplier of all the play. She is the source of all the divine play of Sri Krishna. In that verse of Srila Sridhar Maharaj about Srimati Radharani, what's the beginning? How does it begin? Yadamiya mahima Shri Bhagavatya Katayam. This verse that Srila Sridhar Maharaj wrote. Most extraordinary verse. We were discussing yesterday, I think, like what's coming from our gurus. This is like unique spiritual wealth, like original revelation that you don't find anywhere else, And we were discussing about the Saraswata Arati, how extraordinary and perfect that is. And then also like this verse about Radharani that Srila Sridhar Maharaj has given, it's, we see verses of Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, which are extraordinary, just blow your mind. And then we're seeing also verses of Srila Sridhar Maharaj that do the same thing. And so this verse, it was part of, Srila Sridhar Maharaj had this inspiration to, the Srimad Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses. Bhakti Vinod Thakur had that inspiration to condense it to the most essential 1,000 verses. And, 18 rays of Bhagavatam Bhagavatam is compared to a sun with 18,000 rays. And so, 18,000 verses, like sun rays. And so Bhakti Vinod condensed that to 1,000 of the most essential. And then Srila Sridhar Maharaj had the inspiration to condense it further to 300, which unfortunately he was never able to complete, and asked Gurudev, but Gurudev also was never able to complete it. But for part of that work, Srila Sridhar Maharaj wrote some introductory verses, original verses of his own. And we know of 3 of them. 2 of them are more widely known, and then Tyagi Maharaj more recently found a 3rd one. And they're all extraordinary, extraordinary. But one of them is glorifying Srimati Radharani in this very wonderful way, saying how in Bhagavatam, her name is not mentioned. Srimati Radharani's name is not found within Srimad Bhagavatam, which is an extraordinary thing because Bhagavatam is about Krishna, and she's the the number one for Krishna. So how is it that her name is not mentioned? And Gurudev has explained because it is something so high. It's not something to be spoken to a general audience. Her position is so dignified, so high, but it's also easy to misunderstand. And so she's referred to in an indirect way. She's in a hidden way, her name is mentioned there. But directly she's not mentioned. And so in this verse of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, she's saying, it's so beautiful, Yadamiya Mahima Shri Bhagavatya Katayam. It begins like that. Saying that although her name is not mentioned, her lotus feet are found in every word and every syllable of Srimad Bhagavatam. Like that. And then there's this beautiful line which I'm thinking of, Shama Lila Avalambam. That she is the support, Avalambam means support, of all the Leela of Sham Krishna, Sham Sundar Krishna. She is the support, she's the basis of all of his divine Leela. And so here she's being described as being the abode of all the divine play of Krishna. So Devi means resplendent and most beautiful, or else it means the lovely abode of the worship and love sports of Lord Krishna. Krishna Mai, Krishna Jar, Vitare Bahire, Jaha Jaha Nichapade, Taha Krishna Spode. Very beautiful, this verse. So, there's this verse which is being discussed. So Devi is the first description. That's been explained. Then the next description is Krishna Mai. She's described as Krishna Mai. That's another name we know. We know many. Gurudev gave many Krishna Mais. Or did he give some? He gave many Krishna Mohinis, actually. Krishna Mai, maybe we know 1 or 2. Can you think of any? Krishna Mai. I have to think. Anyhow, so this is another name for Radharani, Krishna Mai. And so this is an explanation of what Krishna Mai means. And in a simple sense, Mai means like something like to be full of something. So Krishna Mai means to be full of Krishna, like that. And so here it's being said.
We have Krishna Moy.
Krishna Moy will be the male form, right? Yeah, Krishna Moy. Krishna Mai, actually, she was one of the senior ladies who stayed in she was like a relative of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Krishna Mai. She was one of the few ladies given permission to stay in the mat, Krishna Mai. But I'm trying to think in our Western devotees. I don't know. Krishna Priya, Krishna Dasi, Krishna Mohini. I can't think of any Krishna Mai.
There's one in Venezuela.
There's one in Venezuela. Okay, there you go. Krishna, here's the translation of this verse. Krishna Mai means one who's within and without, our Lord Krishna. She sees Krishna wherever she casts her glance. So this is a very nice verse, and there's one way of reading this, that she like in this general sense, she sees Krishna everywhere, right? And wherever she looks, she sees Krishna. This is one way of reading this verse. But another way, which as I recall, Srila Sridhar has described, is that, and this is definitely true, that Krishna is compelled to appear, wherever she looks. By the power of her devotion, Krishna has to appear there. Not like like we hear about the Mahabhagavat, they see Krishna everywhere, but like in a very specific way, Krishna has to appear there. And there's that, as evidence of that, there's that incident when Krishna leaves the rasa dance, and then he's hiding, because he wants to see, what will be the mood of Radharani and separation from him, and then at a certain point he manifests this Vishnu form, and he appears before the Braja Gopis, and the Braja Gopis, they're not very interested in Lord Vishnu. So they're like, Dandavat, where's Krishna? They're asking Vishnu, and remember, like, this is like the Aprakrita Leela, so for them, Vishnu is God, Narayan, they don't know that Krishna is God. Krishna is their beloved lover, but Vishnu is God, actually. But when they see Vishnu, they give him their Dandavat, and they ask him, where's Krishna? But then when Krishna tries to do that to Radharani, he can't do it. He's not able to keep out the extra two arms, because her devotion is so strong that he's not able to hide in front of that. Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena. Because of that, that salve of divine love, of prema, through the power of that, he can't hide under that loving eye. So she has that type of power. Kimva prema vasmai Krishna swarup tar shakti tar saha hoye kadu. Or Krishna Mai means that she is identical with Lord Krishna, for she embodies the mellows of love. The energy of Lord Krishna is identical with him, as in Srimati Radharani being his energy. Krishna Vancha Purti Rupa Kore Aradhane Ataiva Radhiknam Purane Vakane. Her worship, Aradhana, consists of fulfilling the desires of Lord Krishna. Therefore, the Puranas call her Radhika, because this is the root meaning of Radharani or Radhika. The word Aradhana means worship. Aradhana is worship. And so Radha comes from that. And that is how she is. Oh yeah, that's coming up in the next verse. She's referred to, that's how she's hiddenly referred to in Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is from Bhagavatam. Anaya radito nunam Bhagavan harir Ishvara yanno vihaya govinda pritoyam anayad raha. Truly, the personality of Godhead has been worshipped by her. Therefore, Lord Govinda, being pleased, has brought her to a lonely spot, leaving us all behind. So she's referred to here as the one who worshipped Krishna the best. This is like the hidden reference and Bhagavatam for Srimati Radharani. And this is describing that moment when Krishna, was leaving the rasa dance. So, Atteva sarva puja parama devata sarva palika sarva jagate ramata. Therefore Radha is Parama Devata, the supreme goddess. So this is in this first verse that we're going through. She's next described as Paradevata. Devi, Krishnamai, Radhika, and then Paradevata, which means the supreme goddess. And she is worshipable for everyone. Could also say like deity, the most worshipable deity. Paramadevata, for all. She is the protectress of all, and she is the mother of the entire universe. And then the next description of her is Sarva Lakshmi. Sarva Lakshmi Shabda Purve Kuriyachi Vyakyan Sarva Lakshmi Ganartiho Hanas Adishtan. I have already explained the meaning of Sarva Lakshmi. Radha is the original source of all the goddesses of fortune. Kimva Sarva Lakshmi Krishna Shadvida Ishvarja Taradhistatri Shakti Sarva Shakti Varya. Or Sarva Lakshmi indicates that she fully represents the 6 opulences of Krishna. Therefore, she is the supreme energy of Lord Krishna. Sarva Sandarya Kanti Vaishoye Jahate Sarva Lakshmi Ganar Shobha Hoy Jaha Hoite. The word Sarva Kanti indicates that all beauty and luster rest in her body. All the Lakshmis derive their beauty from her. Kimva Kanti Shabde Krishna Sabicha Kohe Krishna Sakavancha Radate Rohe. Kanti may also mean all the desires of Lord Krishna. All the desires of Lord Krishna rest in Srimati Radharani. Radhika Korin Krishna Vanchito Puran Sarvakanti Shabde Arta Vivaran. Srimati Radhika fulfills all the desires of Lord Krishna. This is the meaning of Sarvakanti. Jagat Mohan Krishna Tahar Mohini Attaiva Samaster Padata Kodani. Lord Krishna enchants the world, but Sri Radha enchants even him. Therefore, she is the supreme goddess of all. Radha Purna Shakti Krishna Purna Shakti Man Duivastu Bedanai Shastra Paraman. Sri Radha is the full power, and Lord Krishna is the possessor of full power. The two are not different, as evidenced by the revealed scriptures. Mrigamad Targanda Jaiche Aviched Agni Jwalate Jaiche Kabuna Hibed. They are indeed the same, just as musk and its scent are inseparable, or as fire and its heat are non-different. Radha Krishna Iche Sada Ekai Swarup Lila Rasa Swadite Dore Duirup. Or saying here musk and its scent, or fire and its heat. And another way Gurudev expressed it, he was quoting some expression, language and the meaning of language. Language and its meaning, they're inseparable. So Radha and Krishna, they have that type of connection. Radha Krishna Iche Sada Eki Swarup Thus Radha and Lord Krishna are one, yet they have taken 2 forms to enjoy the mellows of pastimes. Prema Bhakti Shikaite Apane Avatari Radha Bhava Kanti Dui Angikara Kori Shri Krishna Chaitanya Rupe Koilo Avatar Eto pancham shloka artha padachar. To promulgate prema bhakti, Krishna appeared as Shri Krishna Chaitanya with the mood and complexion of Shri Radha. Thus I have explained the meaning of the 5th verse. Okay, I think it's a good place to stop. Then Kaviraj Goswami comes to the explanation of the 6th verse. All right. Very high topics. We are just trying to hear with faith and caution also. Should we stop there? Does anyone have any last comments or anything?
Really stupid question.
What did you say?
I've got a really stupid question.
No stupid question. There are no stupid questions.
So, Radharani is so worshipable. Why can't we talk about her that much? You know what I mean?
Why don't we talk about her that much? Well, it is because the relationship between Radha and Krishna, it is something that is very high and very elevated, but at the same time, it's very easy to misunderstand it. No, because we don't have any reference point for these divine relationships. No. Her position is so dignified, and we don't want to. It is like something very precious that you keep in a golden casket, because we don't want it to be dishonored or misunderstood in any way. So we are cautious, and it's not that we don't have a connection with her. The connection with her is coming through Gurudev. Actually we can conceive that all the service to Krishna is actually hers. All the service going on in this temple is Radharani's service. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used this Latin phrase, major domo, which means like the housekeeper. Like that's her position. She's the housekeeper of all of Krishna's affairs. And Saraswati Thakur went on to explain that all the service of the mat, it's actually hers. The cooking, the cleaning, the puja, everything. It's all her, and it's all her energy. And we can conceive of ourselves as attempting to be servants attempting to be instruments of her, of what is actually her service. Like it's a privilege for us to be utilized in any small way as an instrument of what is really her service energy. The whole thing is hers, actually. What is the spirit of dedication? What is faith? All of this is coming from her. So our spiritual development and progress, it's all very much connected with her. And that flow coming from her, that's coming through Gurudev, through our Guru, and superior Vaishnavas who are also our Gurus. So, we have that connection with her. She's very much, present. Her divine energy is very much present in everything that we're doing. But it's just that we don't go to discuss so many details about her at this point, because with our material mind, we will misunderstand, we will not give proper honor to her. It's so easy to drag these higher things down to the plane of our, worldly, and we can also say, from one angle, like the female form is something quite vulnerable. The female form is something vulnerable and very much subject to objectification, to exploitation. So if we're like exposing that in a very broad way, then it becomes vulnerable to all of these type of things. There's one. I'll give you one. I'll tell this one story. Maybe it will help to give some perspective. that there was one, what were they saying? I think they were referring to her as Jagat Mohini. There was one in one of the temples of the Gaudiya Math. It was a festival day. Maybe it was Radhastami, the appearance day of Radharani. And one of the brahmacharis in the temple room started singing. In Bengali they have what are called akars, like these ornaments that get thrown in at the ends, because it's their own language. They're singing Bengali songs, but it's also their own language, so there's scope for like throwing in extras, So like all these things in brackets, these are called akars. They're like extras that have developed. They're not part of the original song, but there are these like ornaments that have been added in to enhance the original words. And so all of our songs you'll see in brackets, those are like extras, like that have developed in different mots, And so this one brahmachari, he must have sung some song about Srimati Radharani, and then at the end he started making up his own akar, this ornamental line, and he's saying something like Jagat Mohini Eba Ramai Doya Kodo, which Jagat Mohini meaning the enchantress, what was the word? Maybe it was Bhuvana Mohini that he used. But that meaning anyway, meaning the enchantress of the world. She is the enchantress of the world. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur heard that, and he got very upset, and he came and he told him, what are you saying? Radharani has no connection with this world. And he explained, that the proper conception is that first of all, we can say Cupid is the enchantress of the world. Cupid is the enchanter, of the world. And then Krishna is so attractive that he enchants Cupid. So Krishna, he's referred to as Madan Mohan, who has the Madan is a name for Cupid. So Krishna can be referred to as Madan Mohan, the enchanter of Cupid. And then Radharani is the enchantress of Krishna. And so he said, what you can say is Bhuvan Mohan Mohan Mohini. Cupid is Bhuvan Mohan, the enchanter of the world. Then Krishna is the one who enchants, the enchanter of the world. And then Radharani is the one who enchants, the enchanter of the enchanter of the enchanter of the world. Like, that's her position. She has such a high, such a dignified position. No connection with this material plane. So there has to be a great deal of caution. Everything, if we hear all these details, and you can find them, if we go to hear all these details, it just becomes food for our senses. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had this expression. He commented that the senses are like vultures. Like if a vulture is like flying in the sky, sees some prey and goes zooming down. So in the same way, our senses are like that. They will drag us down to lower conception. So going to hear all these details about Radharani and the pastimes between her and Krishna, it won't be very helpful for us. It would just, the only reference point we have is our experience of the senses, and we'll be dragged down there. So what is really like substantial and significant about Srimati Radharani now is the whole culture of faith. That's her gift. Faith, devotion, that's all her property. So, in the culture, she is that, So in the culture of that, that's like a substantial connection to that. The culture of Sharanagati, of surrender, of Shraddha, of faith, of Bhakti, devotion, all these things. Is that helpful at all?
Yeah, thank you.
Is there a more specific point that?
No, not so much. I was just because you were saying about the book. Yeah, she's not mentioning Srimad Bhagavatam, and just her feet. Yeah, I was just.
Well, you see.
They don't talk about the specific things.
Yeah.
Yeah, some way of worship, but yeah, you're saying there's such a fine line with how to glorify, and anyway, it's through Guru, and that's it. And I was comparing that Krishna is really high, so, and Bhagavan is high, and she's the connected force to Guru, but nothing, just thinking, so that was just
One way Gurudev, he described Krishna. Krishna is like a big public administrator. And then Radharani, she is the queen of his homeland, like his private life. Like Krishna's like the public front of the whole show, and then the knowledge of Radharani, that's something more hidden. That's a more hidden truth, something more exclusive. Because you see, Krishna, within the theistic world or the Vedic world or whatever you want to say, or just to anyone, Krishna is someone who can be the object of criticism. If people go to look at Krishna with their material understanding, then they can't understand Krishna. Krishna's a teenage boy who's a womanizer, and he has many girlfriends, and he likes to play, and he likes to steal, and what can we respect about Krishna? So already the position of Krishna is subject to doubts. So then Radharani, who is right, she is the supreme lover of Krishna. So there must be some protection there for her dignity. Actually, in that assembly, when Shukadev was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, he was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam to this assembly of many great sages. And they were persons who were mostly acquainted with more generic strands of spiritual thought. Yoga, Gyan, Nyaya, logic, analysis, conceptions of charity, different, more general ideas of spirituality. He's speaking to this crowd. Of course, they're dignified in a general sense. They're all very dignified, very great people, on some spiritual platform. But to come to this conception of Krishna Leela, that's a big jump for them. And when Shukadev is explaining, when Shukadev is coming to describe Krishna Leela and saying that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they're all like, whoa, their heads are spinning a little bit. And then when he comes to describe the Rasa Leela, Krishna's dance, amorous dance with billions of gopis. He's got billions of girls. Their jaws are dropping. This is a big jump for them. So that's already like a big thing, So in that kind of assembly, then to come to speak about Radharani, that won't be understood who she is. Her glory and her dignity, it won't be properly appreciated. So, he didn't want to make her vulnerable to people's mundane scrutiny, something so precious and so high. And so also in this world, Krishna, people can joke about Krishna, but it will not be tolerated that people will joke about Radharani. That will not be tolerated. Our gurus will not tolerate that. Her name will be used in a loose way. That will be intolerable. That will be too painful. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there was one occasion where he was speaking with someone who was a devotee of Lakshmi. And this also gives us some reference point, because I'm talking about just general people in the world. But here Saraswati Thakur is speaking to someone who's obviously, an advanced person in the world, who's a devotee of Lakshmi. And this man was glorifying Lakshmi Devi very extensively. And Saraswati Thakur was there listening, and he was thinking to himself, but Radharani, she is the source of Lakshmi. Radharani is superior to Lakshmi. And so he had some urge to establish the position of Radharani. But then he also felt, but her glories are so high and he won't be able to properly understand. I can go to glorify her, but he may not appreciate that, and then that will be a disservice. And so he had this intense inner conflict within him, to say her glories or to not say her glories. And then he ended up just fainting off of his chair. It was so intense within him. To a certain extent, a lot of how we're following, it's because of the sentiment in the hearts of these high devotees. And we are not really able to understand because we don't have that kind of feeling. But they're deeply connected to that higher plane. They have that type of sentiment. Like in an ordinary way, we may have those experiences with relationships. We're deeply connected with someone. We know all the subtleties and the sensitivities of different things with someone that we're very close with. And then if someone else is coming, like a bull in a china shop, in this very awkward way, and they say one thing that's slightly off, slightly misrepresenting the fine feeling of a friend, then it upsets us. This is a sensitive point, And that other person, they didn't mean any harm, actually, but they're just not sensitized to all the subtleties of that person's feelings, and you get slightly off angle and you're upset. That's not how they feel. You've got it wrong, So in the same way, like for us, this is all pie in the sky, Vrindavan, Radha, Krishna, all these things. It's very far. It doesn't have a real meaning for us in an immediate way in our lives here and now. But for our Guru Varga, it does. They have relationships with them, And so that's their sentiment, to have this mood of protection and caution and care. And another thing is that, spiritual life, it's something living and dynamic. And so whenever we need to know something, it will come. It's not that we have to make arrangements to try to understand or find something out, but it will come when we need it. When it's it's coming, not just coming from curiosity or mental plane, intellectual, that whole world, but when there's real spiritual necessity, we're hungry and we need to eat. Yesterday was Ekadashi and now we're hungry and we want to have a nice breakfast. We're hungry, my stomach is rumbling and I need to eat something. I can't think about anything else. Or a lady's pregnant and needs to give birth here and now. Can't wait for this. When that type of spiritual necessity, it will arise. If we're properly continuing on the path, that moment will come when there's actual need for all of this type of revelation. It will come. We also have to have that kind of faith. That our guardians are there, our guardians are living, our guardians are real, and they're caring for us at every step. And then also we can say, it's not that we're not told anything, it's just that it's not every day, and we're not going into too much discussion about it. These kind of sections of Chaitanya Charitamrita, we're hearing them. We're receiving that nectarian transmission. But then we're not going to analyze and discuss that, But we are given something, some revelation of her divine nature and service. We are told something, and that something is really enough for where we are at our stage. And then Chaitanya Leela is actually so safe for us because it's not possible to misunderstand Chaitanya Leela. It's not possible to drag that down into some to some lower mundane reference point. It's not possible. The way that Mahaprabhu came to spread Krishna consciousness, how he presented himself, it's not possible. So Chaitanya Leela is more safe for us.
Our safe position is just to focus on our good ourselves, I think.
Absolutely.
And not to contemplate or go into trying to understand these high pastimes. That's what our Guru is to do, really. Otherwise it becomes a little bit confusing, and we don't really have the instruction to go into so high views. We give our obeisances, right?
Yes, absolutely. There's one beautiful verse of Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur. How does it begin? Tasyana mostu vishabhanu bhuvodi shepi. I've forgotten the first line. Yoginja dorga magatir madhusudanopi. And then when you hear Guru, this verse is so it's such a cautious glorification of Radharani. The verse is already so cautious, and then when we hear Gurudev discussing this verse, he's super cautious, and that gives us some realization. Like people who really know what this is, they're very careful in approaching it. But this verse of Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, it's glorification of Srimati Radharani, saying that I am paying my dandavat to the direction in which she was born. Like that. And the verse is saying that when Radharani is serving prasadam to Krishna and to the cowherd boys, there's some breeze that is coming from her cloth. As she's moving around serving prasadam, there's some breeze that is coming from her cloth. And that breeze is coming to Krishna. Krishna's feeling that breeze. Danyati danya. Then Krishna is feeling, I am so supremely fortunate just to receive the breeze that is coming from the cloth of Radharani. So Krishna himself has such that type of, just that, to feel that slight touch of her, he's feeling supremely blessed. Just that very, it's a remote thing. He's feeling so deeply. Danya ati, danya means blessed or fortunate. So fortunate, he's feeling. And then Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur is saying, to that Radharani, I am paying my dandavat to the direction in which she was born. And then Gurudev, when Gurudev's, a few times we've heard Gurudev talk about this verse, and every time he's shy to say this verse. It is a very high verse. We're not qualified to discuss this verse. And then carefully telling the verse, the verse is already so cautious in going to glorify her, and Gurudev's feeling shy to say that. So that just gives us some idea, wow, what is this? How high this is, Okay. Will you please sing? Let us hear your beautiful voice. Jai Shri Gurudev. Hariharaya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namaha
Kiri Hari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Bhakti Sundar Guru Goswami Jai Shri Bhakti Guru Goswami Jai Bhagwan Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Acharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Satpurusha Shri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Navadip Ram Ki Jai. Shri Ganga Jumla Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Devi Vrinda Devi Tulasi Devi Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Shama Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Kol Karta Ki Jai. Shri Ch.Ch. Saraswati Ki Jai. Shri Vishakha Ki Jai. Jai Shri Bhakti Vinod Charge Jai. Shri Bhakti Pravan Jai. Shri Bhakti Anjana Sudmash Ki Jai. Shri Ch.Ch. Saraswati Charge Vrinda Ki Jai. Seva Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Singh Ki Jai. All these songs. Gorka.